Hey again everyone, how's everyone's day going? And welcome back to the next car review. If you like a daily sports car with an American V8 power by Ford or any V8 sports car from America that's daily drivable and also has enough practicality and space just like your average mid-size luxury sedan, and it's cheap and it's fast and also is very noisy too. And if you're a driving enthusiast that likes to go to work in one of these and maybe show off to one of your friends that you got a Mustang or a Camaro, it's not all that special. It's just too common to be, but that's not always true. Today, I bring you the Ford Mustang. Let's dive right into the history and review this exactly Ford Mustang GT. Enjoy the video. The Ford Mustang. A muscle car with style and comfort, rear-wheel drive fitted with a powerful V8 engine. Originally, the Ford Mustang was always the pony car since the introduction of the 1964 model. Today's Mustangs can be called a muscle car, pony car, and sports car, all of the above. It's known as a man's car, and one to keep your distance from at any gathering of cars. The term pony car is used to refer to sporty compact cars that are usually fitted with a small block V8 engine or sometimes even a V6. Today, I bring you the 2015 Ford Mustang GT, and this car was the start of the 6th generation of the Ford Mustang. Or I will explain everything you need to know about this particular Mustang GT and why most muscle cars fans loved it when it first was released 7 years ago. Let's dive right in. The 6th gen Ford Mustang was introduced as the 2015 model year at the New York Auto Show in July 2014 with the appearance in red orange. The Mustang GT was called the Premium, and 2014 marked the 50th anniversary of the Ford Mustang since the beginning of the Mustang was born in April 1964. The 2015 Mustang GT was built on the Ford's F550 platform, which is still the current generation of the Mustang, following the GT350R and the all-new GT500. The 2015 Mustang GT was a big step forward from the last generation Mustangs. Most people fell in love with the new looks of the Mustang. It looks very aggressive in the front grille of the car with the horse badge in the middle with the horse headlights, and the features inside of the interior was even better in comparison to the 5th generation. Unlike the previous generation of the interiors, the quality were not the best and get creaks and rattle over time and are less durable, but all about the power driving with performance. But this 2015 Mustang GT has more balance, more power with better handling performance than ever, and more refined and responsive steering, which makes it sound incredibly exciting to drive this pony car. The handling of the GT is not as good as your small car like a Miata or anything around that level, but precise and comfortable for a muscle car. The biggest improvement of this car that was given to this Mustang was the independent rear suspension, which offers the better ride quality and good handling just like most sports cars. The greatest advantage of the independent rear suspension is its performance on uneven surfaces like on bumpy roads and speed bumps. It allows the car to go over them smoothly. The movement of the back wheels is not affected by the other, so the vehicle is able to maintain traction where a solid axle vehicle might lose contact on the driving surface. This Mustang was equipped with a new Coyote engine from the previous generation Coyote. The 2015 Mustang GT carries a 5-liter Coyote V8 that produces 435 brake horsepower and has 400 pound-feet of torque. Now, just a quick note, if you get the GT Premium, then you're going to get the full horsepower, 435, but if you get the regular GT, just the GT, then subtract 20 horsepower and you get 415 only. You can get this car in one of 3 different engines as well, with the EcoBoost Inline 4 or a 3.7 liter V6 that only makes 300 horsepower, and then there is this, a 5 liter V8 that makes 435 horsepower. The GT costs more than the other with than others with 2 different engines. My bad. The GT has a 6-speed manual gearbox and can do 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4.4 seconds, and it can reach to a top speed of 164 miles per hour riding in 6th gear. The 5-liter V8 is no slouch that can rev up over 7,000 RPM. This car weighed about 3,700 pounds. Now let's get into the styling of this 2015 Mustang. The redesign of this Mustang includes the LED headlights and the accent lights, as well as the 3-dimensional triple bar taillights to keep the classic style from the first-gen Mustangs. The front grille of this Mustang GT did not have the 4 headlights, with 2 fog lights in the middle like the older gen Mustangs, like these including the very original one of their characteristics. This current gen Mustang is the most furious looking Mustang in my opinion, and if you really want to, you can aftermarket and even convert the front end with 2 GT fog lights to look like the Mustangs or other Mustangs or any Mustangs. Then you have 4 headlights. Otherwise, the Mustang GT or the Premium looks really remarkable and has 19-inch wheels. It also has a lower and wider with a wider rear track and fenders, giving it a more aggressive approach than the previous gen Mustangs. The new redesign helps the Mustang achieve a lower coefficient of drag, which helps it slip through the air more easily and perform more efficiency. I first discovered this new Mustang 6 years ago from a video game called Need for Speed Rivals, and I thought it was really cool and very different from the other Mustangs I grew up with. Thankfully, Ford still offers a manual stick shift on all models except the GT500, which is the new one, sadly. The 6-speed automatic is also optional for the GT, but why would you want a 6 automatic when you could have a manual? That's only for driving enthusiasts if you like driving with manual. The 2015 Mustang is very vastly different, with larger brakes and all the new suspension, a refreshed interior, and the good sound from the engine. Now let's dive right into the interior of this 2015 Mustang GT. So looking at it now in 2021 is not amazing, but okay. The interior quality is pretty good and average for a Mustang with soft touch materials. A huge thing to point out when you get inside of this car, this Mustang has a startup button below the climate controls next to the 4 toggle switches. You can activate the start button by first putting your feet on the clutch pedal. Yes, this Mustang has clutch pedals, and then push start with the key. The leather bucket seats are comfortable that comes standard. They are very supportive and hold the driver in place very well. The steering wheel feels nice too. The center buttons look nice with the 4 shiny toggle switches. One of them is for adjustable steering, drive modes, and traction and stability, and that's what everybody like most about this car, is that you have 4 toggle switches and they're very simple and easy to use. The Mustang GT has 4 drive modes. You get comfort, you get sport, you also have track mode in this thing, and you have weather mode. Also, this car has the 8-inch infotainment screen in the middle of the car with 2 big knobs on each end for radio and volume and for tuning. Also, when you put the car in reverse, it has a backup camera system, unlike the previous generation Mustangs. The 6th gen Mustang and beyond started with this GT had a backup camera. That's pretty cool. The back seats do exist but still remain for children only. You can use them for storage. This car also has a display between the 2 big circular gauge cluster behind the steering wheel, and the steering wheel has a lot of buttons as well. They are very usable. The center console is hard plastic though, and the cup holder is usable too, with a storage unit where you can put storage inside of the center console. The interior is very logical and easy going to use. Now let's dive right into the practicality. So the Mustang GT has a lot of legroom in the front driver seat and passenger side, so a tall person can fit in this car no problem. And the trunk space is just as big as you expect from your everyday sedan. The trunk has 13.5 cubic feet of trunk space, which is really good size to put enough items in. So like if you're going grocery shopping, or if you're going on a vacation, or if you have big items to put stuff in the back trunk, And even more cool, you can even fold down the back seats if you don't want nobody to sit back there because it's really tight. What's the point? And you can even fold down the back seats for more extensive storage, making your trunk bigger than it needs to be. You can drive this car daily with good technology and the interior with comfort seats with a good practical trunk space. But if you want an everyday pony car with a powerful V8 engine noise that feels fast with acceleration from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4.5 seconds and feels like a proper sports car regarding the numbers, it is worth the freaking money. You can purchase this car for under $40,000 or whatever state you live in or where you live at. You can get this car for whatever cheap price they offer. Unfortunately, if you live in the UK or any other countries in Europe, you probably will not see a V8 Mustang GT, only probably a V6 or inline 4 for better efficiency standards. But it's still a Mustang, so stop whining.
What?
By the way, it was a joke. The 2015 and beyond Mustang GT is the best-selling American sports car on the market over the Camaro. So quick additional facts about this Mustang. So this Mustang received the facelift in 2018 and took the basic same setup from this 2015 Mustang. The new Mustang GT, which is the 2018, was slightly different, equipped with a magnet rod option and interior upgrades. And this car had the same 5-liter Toyota V8 that makes 460 horsepower, and it was a little bit quicker than the 2015 Mustang. It made about 420 pound-feet of torque. And I think the 2018 Mustang looks a bit more aggressive in the front end. It has that angry, more aggressive tweak to it than the 2015 Mustang in my opinion. My favorite Mustang of the 6th generation is the GT350R because of the flat plane crankshaft V8, and you can never go wrong with the car revving up to over 8,000 RPM. And how special that Mustang is, because it's like the best sounding Mustang ever made, and it's totally different from the Mustang GT. And I'll be more than happy to review that Mustang in the near future. But for now, let's get inside of this 2015 Mustang GT and put the keys into the ignition and start the engine. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to share this video to anyone who is interested into sports cars like these. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed the video. Take a listen. Now, between these 3 good competitors that you can compare, which of the 3 do you prefer? The Mustang GT, the Camaro Super Sport, or the BMW M3 E92? Personally, I like the M3 E92.